Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy, and thanks for joining us today, November 10th, on No Greater Delight, our podcast on Marian feasts and Marian meditations. Today, we're celebrating 3 different feasts of Our Lady, 3 different events. First, in Viana do Castelo, Portugal, they celebrate Our Lady of Last Agony. When a sudden storm would swell on the seas and threaten to bash the fishermen's boats against the cliffs, their wives and families would invoke Our Lady's protection. And hence, Our Lady of Last Agony has become sort of the last resort, that praying for protection for the fishermen. Likewise, in 1552, we have a miraculous cure through the intercession of Our Lady of Loreto. A Turkish officer was convinced by one of his Christian slaves to beg the intercession of Our Lady of Loreto, asking for a miraculous cure for his incurable illness. Well, the cure was granted, and the officer gave the shrine many different gifts, and also, as a gesture of gratitude, freed his Christian slave. Lastly, in 1642 or 43, you find both dates, we have Our Lady of the Eye, which, in my butchered German, is Muttergottes von der Augenwende in Rottweil, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. On this day, as the French laid siege to the city, the statue of Our Lady with Child in this church grew pale. She turned her eyes to heaven and then towards the city, an act of mercy and compassion to let them know that she had not abandoned them, even in the midst of these difficult situations. For today's reading from True Devotion to Mary by St. Louis de Montfort, we continue with part 2 on the most excellent devotion to Our Blessed Lady, or the perfect consecration to Jesus through Mary, and we're continuing with the motives for perfect consecration. Yesterday we finished the 5th motive, which was kind of lengthy, but it talked about this devotion as an easy, short, perfect, and secure way at arriving at union with our Lord. And today we will consider the 6th motive, which begins at point 168. At 169. This practice of devotion gives to those who make use of it faithfully a great interior freedom, which is the freedom of the children of God. For as by this devotion we make ourselves slaves of Jesus Christ, and consecrate ourselves to Him entirely in this capacity, our good Master, in recompense for the loving captivity in which we put ourselves, and then we have 3 different things that come up. First, He takes all scruples and servile fear from the soul, with everything that is capable of contracting, imprisoning, or confusing it. 2, He enlarges the heart by a firm confidence in God, making it look at Him as a Father. And 3, He inspires us with a tender and filial love. Point 170. Without stopping to prove these truths by arguments, I shall be content to quote here what I have read in the life of Mother Agnes of Jesus, a Dominicaness, I think that means a female Dominican, of the convent of Langeac in Auvergne, who died there in the odor of sanctity in the year 1634. When she was only 7 years old and suffering from great spiritual pains, she heard a voice which told her that if she wished to be delivered from all her pains and to be protected against all her enemies, she was as quickly as possible to make herself the slave of Jesus and His Most Holy Mother. She had no sooner returned to the house than she gave herself up entirely to Jesus and His Mother in this capacity. And although up to that time she had not known so much as what the devotion meant, having found an iron chain, she put it round her body and wore it to her death. After this action, all her pains and scruples ceased, and she found herself in a great peace and dilation of heart. It was this which engaged her to teach the devotion to many persons, who made great progress in it, and among others to Emolier, the founder of Saint Sulpice, that's the Sulpicians, the Society of Saint Sulpice, right? And to many priests and ecclesiastics of the same seminary. One day Our Lady appeared to her, and put round her neck a chain of gold to testify the joy she had in Mother Agnes, having made herself her son's slave and her own. And Saint Cecilia, who accompanied Our Lady in that apparition, said to the religious, "Happy are the faithful slaves of the Queen of Heaven, for they shall enjoy true liberty. Tibi servere libertas, to serve you is freedom."
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our Marian podcast. As St. John Paul II teaches us, from Mary we learn to love Christ, her Son, the Son of God. Through her intercession, may we grow ever closer to Him We encourage you to share this with a loved one or friend and help spread our devotion to Mary. Thank you, and God bless.